New information tonight in the Haley Owens case. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Kilman.
Good to have you along here at 10. I'm David Oliver. This new state report says officials believe Haley Owens was sexually abused after her abduction. Our Matt Lapoli obtained a copy of this record for us today. Matt?
David and Jennifer, many of the details in this report were redacted. It's 37 pages worth of information that comes from the Missouri Department of Social Services, and the information related to this case could, of course, have an impact during the trial for suspect Craig Wood. An investigation by Social Services Children's Division shows investigators believe Haley Owens was sexually assaulted after her abduction. Craig Wood is charged in the child's death. Her body was found in the basement of Wood's Stanford Street home in February.
It's tragic, it's horrific.
Wood is being held in Greene County Jail on first-degree murder, child kidnapping, and armed criminal action allegations. Sexual abuse charges have not been filed against him. The documents call Owens a victim of circumstance in a report completed February 21st, 3 days after she was abducted and shot to death. Records show that officials marked yes as to whether they believed evidence at the scene pointed toward a sexual assault, though the reasoning for this finding was marked out. Detectives suspect the child suffered the sexual abuse and fatal injuries at Wood's home, according to the documents. The attorney who represents Haley Owens' parents says it's a difficult time for the family. However, quote, things are moving forward. Prosecutors are filing motions and doing their job. We need to wait for all of the facts to come out before we jump to conclusions. We need to be patient for the family and the community. The records also reaffirm there was no known connection between the child and the suspect. A motions hearing the case against Craig Wood will be held tomorrow morning at the Greene County Courthouse. Stay with Caller 10 for more on that.
Matt, things happening right now. In 3 hours, Missouri plans to execute a convicted murderer. Jeffrey Ferguson will be put to death for the 1989 killing of a 17-year-old Kelly Hall in St. Charles. Earlier today, Governor Jay Nixon denied clemency to Ferguson. His death will be Missouri's 5th execution in the last 5 months. The FBI hopes someone recognizes this car. A credit union robbery suspect took off in the car yesterday. The robbery happened at the Community Credit Union on West Elfindale near Kansas Expressway. Witnesses say a woman in her 30s entered the building around 12:15, showed a note, and took off with cash.
Proposed regulations on wood-burning stoves get a chilly reception here in Missouri. The Environmental Protection Agency plans to update standards. Senator Claire McCaskill sent a letter to the EPA asking the agency to work with independent manufacturers to develop affordable, achievable heating rules. EPA-compliant heaters would cost an estimated $300 to $500 more than current prices. Missouri State Representative Tim Remley is sponsoring House Bill 1302. It would give Missourians the right to heat their homes and businesses using wood-burning furnaces, stoves, fireplaces, and heaters. But one business owner we talked to today fears the EPA rules might hurt his company.
That's something I don't think the EPA ever takes into account. They don't take into account their damaging of anyone's livelihood.
I think if people understand that it doesn't affect them immediately, it's not taking away their right to heat their home. This is something that, again, it's going to be phased in over a period of time, and the end result will be that everyone will end up with a much more efficient and safer burning product.
House Bill 1302 is going to hit the House floor next week. Remley's office said there's been no opposition so far. If passed, this measure would go into effect next year. Some folks out there perhaps burning wood tonight, Jamie, to stay warm. It's a bit chilly for late March.
I bet they are. You know, temperatures right now already in the upper 20s and low 30s across much of the Ozarks. Temperatures today, even despite the sunshine, only managed to get just out of the 30s. 42 was a high this afternoon in Springfield. Low 40s common to the north and east. Mid 40s more common to the south. This was a cold March day. Average highs are in the low 60s by this point, as we're supposed to be pushing deeper and deeper into the season of spring. But we're getting a little sample of winter's cold right now. Skies are clear, winds are very light or calm, and that's a couple of major ingredients allowing those temperatures to drop very quickly this evening. Already 24 in Rolla, 27 in Springfield, 28 in Clinton, and everybody else at or below the freezing mark for the most part. Looks like a cold start to your Wednesday. Good news is Tomorrow marks the beginning of a warming trend. 27 to start out the day, but by lunchtime we'll be up near 50 with mid to upper 50s common during the afternoon. It will be a windy day, so that's going to make it feel colder out there, I think, during the afternoon. Clouds will be on the increase during the afternoon hours as well, and I think by early evening we're looking at rain spreading into the area. This will be the first in a series of disturbances which will lead to unsettled weather throughout the rest of the week. We'll outline that coming up.
The Springfield Fire Department aims to make the city a safer place through a new initiative called Springfield Life Save. All city employees have been certified and trained in the use of automatic external defibrillators.
And as Lindsay Klein found out, now the city wants others in the community to learn these life-saving skills.
Jen, David, cardiac arrest is often sudden. That's why the Springfield Fire Department is encouraging members of the community to get trained in CPR and using AEDs to be ready to jump in and save a life.
On February 7th, 2012, I was sitting at my desk grading papers at College of the Ozarks, and the next thing I remember was waking up Thursday afternoon, which was 2 days later, and wondering what had happened to me.
At just 21 years old, CPR helped save Walter Watt's life.
I had collapsed of a sudden cardiac arrest.
Classmates turned into heroes by performing CPR for around 4 minutes before an AED arrived.
And that day, they were my rescuers.
Watt's story is proof that sudden cardiac arrest can happen anytime, anywhere, any age.
It just makes sense for our city to make sure that we take care of the hearts of each other.
You never know when someone might go into cardiac arrest, and simply knowing how to do chest compressions could help save a life.
My real goal is to make our community safer.
That's why the Springfield Fire Department wants to get at least 45,000 people
And you're pushing it down.
trained in compression only or hands only
And then you just press straight down.
CPR.
It does not take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of energy, but it can indefinitely save a life.
Sudden cardiac arrest is a leading cause of death within Greene County. And if that's our #1 risk that we have, this is something that we as a community can do. The life they may save is probably going to be somebody that they actually know.
The fire department also wants to double the number of AEDs within the community.
Start CPR.
From around 250 to 500.
Do not touch patient.
With the help of this program, more stories will hopefully end like Watts's. Happy.
That can happen, and it does happen. And when it does, we need to make sure we're prepared.
And Chief Hall says firefighters in our area save more lives doing CPR than rescuing people from burning buildings. He hopes the community will pull together to help solve one of the most serious problems in our area. And part of this program aims to get businesses and organizations involved as well in something called the 50-50 Challenge. You can find more information about the program by visiting this story on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Interesting report, Lindsay. Thanks. New at 10, Springfield ranks in the top 25 for cities for starting a business. That's according to the website Wallet Hub. It gave Springfield the 24th ranking in the nation because of the lending available to small businesses, the low cost of living, and cheap office space. So is it common to rent, or it is common, I should say, to rent an apartment, even a car maybe, but what about a desk or an office?
So interesting. A shared workspace is becoming more common in cities across the country, including here in Springfield. Laura Kennedy explored some shared office spaces today. She joins us now live with more.
Well, the trend is called desk camping or co-working, and it's growing quickly. It's like the business equivalent of renting out the second bedroom for a little extra income. Driving down Sunshine Street, you might notice this unique sign.
What's going on? How does this work?
Ireland Architects had some extra cube space.
And I thought rather than letting it go sitting empty, why not put it to work?
Cubicle rental includes office perks like printers, internet, and conference rooms.
If we all share those spaces and share those costs, then it's not a large cost to anyone.
Her business is one of a growing number in Springfield, jumping on this trend of office sharing, like Fresh Cube downtown.
We've got all this space and we've got all these awesome amenities, and we wanted to make that available to small business, freelancers, startups.
Jeremy Adams rents out desk space at his tech company.
No contract, come in, sit down, and get started on business.
Renting a desk like this would cost about $150 a month. But if you just need a conference room for an hour, It costs you about $10. Stephen Walcher turned to Fresh Cube when he just got tired of working from home.
I had my desk right next to my bed. It wasn't really the best situation, and it was really nice just to be able to get out of the house.
Companies get income from desk tenants. Freelancers get office perks without commitment. These guys say that beneficial partnership is why shared offices are growing in number.
They're starting to pop up a lot more, and if they're not the trend, they really should be.
There are a few places in Springfield that rent out office space. The Creative Foundry downtown is dedicated solely to this desk for rent business. If you'd like more information, I'll post links to a few places. Just look for the story on ozarksfirst.com.
All right, Laura, thanks. Well, all the snow from the weather has had major effects on area schools.
It's been spread out about every month. We've missed days where, if we talk about one of the ice storms, it was localized, but this year has been about every month.
Tonight here at 10, the rules Missouri districts must follow to make up missed days of class. We don't want you to miss anything on the Color 10 Facebook page. It's easy to be our friend. Look for the Facebook icon on ozarksfirst.com. In tonight's education coverage here at 10 o'clock, a look at how Missouri schools have to make up all the snow days from this season. The state has a formula that districts must follow. The first 6 days must be made up. If there were more days missed, a school must make up half of those, up to 10 days max. Kirbyville schools canceled classes 16 days this year.
This year has probably been, in those 13 years, the most challenging because it's been spread out about every month. We've missed days where, if you talk about one of the ice storms, it was localized, but this year has been about every month.
Now, each district can decide when to make up those days. An
allergist warns that pollen could cause a lot of problems this spring. That's due to the snowy winter we experienced. With more moisture on the ground, plants will pollinate and grow faster. Tree pollen peaks now through early April, grass in April, weed peaks in September, and mold peaks July through September. And allergy sufferers know what that means.
Itchy, scratchy eyes, and then they swell. and tear up, and then I'm pretty much stuck in the house.
Springfield-Greene County Health Department workers are telling us so far pollen counts are what they would expect for this time of the year. Jamie's back with an update on our forecast. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, yeah, and I was going to say, quit your complaining. We got to take the good with the bad, right? Yeah, we get the allergy season, but we also get the warmer temperatures, and I think tonight's a nice reminder of what's to come, why we should be happy that spring temperatures are on the way. It's cold out there, but it's not going to last much longer. A look at the upcoming pattern, which features wetter and warmer conditions, coming up.
And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
All right, cold night out there, certainly, and there's 3 reasons why it's so cold out there. Here late in March, we've got clear skies, we've got no wind, winds are calm, and we've got very dry air in place. Dew points in the mid-teens. This time of the year, you're usually starting to talk about warmth and humidity. We certainly don't have that out there tonight. 27 is where we stand. Temperatures are generally in the upper 20s to low 30s across the Ozarks, and they're going to continue to drop a little bit more. I do expect the winds to start picking up again after midnight, so we may see temperatures actually rise a little bit as we approach sunrise on Wednesday, but it's still going to be plenty cold out there. The pattern, though, is about to change. Right now, we've still got this trough across the eastern U.S. You can see the cloud elements sort of moving from northwest to southeast across the eastern U.S. That indicates that that trough is still in place, but the jet stream pattern is about to flatten out. And we've got a little bit of a trough that's going to develop across the western U.S., and it's going to kick out several disturbances, which will ultimately lead to wet weather across the Ozarks. We've got one disturbance located right there. We've got another one that's located right about in there, and we've got yet a third one located right there. And this series of disturbances will be moving throughout the rest of this work week. So we're going to have rain chances each day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. in this next 7 days that we'll be talking about. Overnight tonight, though, we've got clear skies. Tomorrow, I think we start off with sun. Tomorrow, all in all, not a bad day. I think mid to late afternoon, though, the clouds will quickly increase from the southwest. Rain will be moving in by early evening from the southwest, and it looks like a showery evening across the region. But that disturbance won't contain any thunder. The next one that comes to the area on Thursday, that one will generate an area of low pressure, and it will push a cold front through the region, and it will also tap into the Gulf of Mexico a little bit more, so that we have some instability in place ahead of that front. Thursday afternoon, mid to late afternoon, looks to be the window, and we have the greatest chance at seeing some thunderstorms, which could be strong to possibly severe. And it looks like as that front presses from northwest to southeast across the region Thursday evening, we could have a line of thunderstorms, which could generate some damaging wind gusts and maybe some hail. After Thursday's storm, that front doesn't move too far south. So when the next disturbance comes in on Friday, it will generate a wave of low pressure on that front across Arkansas, and that'll be close enough so that we're going to find a chance for showers across areas north of the state line as we head through Friday afternoon into Friday evening, and areas along and south of the state line could actually see some thunder as well. After Friday, we'll get a bit of a break. At least for a few days. Looking at your hour-by-hour forecast, you can see tonight's going to be quiet. Notice tomorrow looks fairly sunny across the region, but after lunchtime, clouds will quickly increase from the southwest. Most of the rain holding west of I-49 through late afternoon, but those showers will be spreading through during the evening hours tomorrow. Looking ahead to Thursday, it looks like during the day on Thursday, it'll maybe a little showery at times during the morning into the afternoon, but the best chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms will be mid to late afternoon on Thursday into Thursday evening. And again, there will be the possibility of maybe a few strong to severe thunderstorms, with hail and damaging wind gusts being the primary threats. Overnight tonight, though, quiet and cold, about 25 for a low. Tomorrow we'll see highs topping at around 57. Windy conditions, though, winds gusting at times over 25 miles per hour out of the south. We'll find windy conditions again on Thursday with a high of 68. 58 for a high on Friday. And then the weekend comes around, and it's looking good. Mostly sunny on Saturday with highs in the low 60s and 70s expected on Sunday. And weather tour, our stop tomorrow is in Branson at Cox Medical Center. It's from 4 p.m. to 6:30. Come on out. I'd love to meet you. And also, while you're out there, you can sign up for the Viewers Club card, Family Safe Storm Shelter giveaway, and also experts will be available to discuss health care options. So that'll be a nice thing for folks that are still wondering what to do about their health care.
And they can meet you.
And they can meet me.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
That's just a secondary deal right there. All right, well, let's see the Viewers Club number, and there it is right there. 133-375 is tonight's number, and the jackpot up to $400.
All right, Jamie, thanks.
You want to beat the best to prove that you do deserve where you are.
Well, the Drury Lady Panthers took on undefeated Bentley in the Elite Eight tonight.
Plus, Dan Lucy and Megan Rice live in Evansville, Indiana, where the Drury men prepare for their Elite Eight game tomorrow night. Up next.
That's right, Dan. It was a warm-up day here in Evansville while the Lady Panthers actually tipped things off.
You do that to me all the time.
Butt dial?
Butt dial him? No. Hey, what dial? They were dialing you, I think. But I'll get up on headset, and I'm on headset. You're calling me. It's like, no, I'm on headset now.
I just butt called Alex Brown. I have to call it back. He's like, hello. Yes, yes. Nah, I actually butt called Alex for some reason. I had you, I don't know what it did, but it kept the connection with the IFB and then went to his call. Then when I hang up with him, it went back to the IFB. They should have recorded morning sports for you guys. Cool. Same type of thing, different stories. I'm gonna make Megan do morning sports. No, it's my package. You can't.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, if it's a game package, you can't.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant...
I don't need to have you. I feel sorry if you stand out in the cold doing morning sports. I'll do it.
In the morning tomorrow? I'll just nod my head. Whatever you say do, I will do.
God almighty.
Look at Eric in the background.
He's keeping us warm. It's like having a big puppy, big bear. Here's somebody walking by. Sir, tell me about the Ford Center.
Put me on TV.
Hey, the weather tour's here in Evansville, Indiana. We can tell you it's cold.
And now, Color 10 Sports with Dan Lucy.
Hello, everybody. Sports on location here in a very cold Evansville, Indiana, outside the Ford Center, where the NCAA Division II Men's Elite Eight will tip off tomorrow for the Drury Panthers. I'm Dan Lucy alongside of Megan Rice. And Megan, today was what, workout day here for the teams?
And that's right, Dan. It was a warm-up day, as you said, here in Evansville, while the Lady Panthers tipped things off in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Lady Panthers were big underdogs tonight, taking on unbeaten and #1 ranked Bentley. Drury coach Steve Huber was saying that he wanted his Lady Panthers to hang around and make it a grind-out game, but Bentley would jump out to a big first half lead. Courtney Finn with the jumper. Falcons led by as many as 13 points. She finished with 30, but Drury would battle back. Paige Wilson with this 3 to get the Lady Panthers rolling. Then the senior from Nixa, Bethany Funderburg with a long 2. Drury playing tough inside. First shot is off the mark, but there's Annie Armstrong getting the board in the basket. Lady Panthers cut that deficit to only 36-32 at halftime. Drury would actually take the lead in the second half, but the Lady Panthers could not catch Bentley, losing 74-66. And Megan, Shanika Shields led the Lady Panthers with 21 points in a valiant effort for them today, trying to take on Bentley. Had the lead for a little bit in that game, but Bentley came back.
Absolutely. It was just a tremendous turnaround season for them this year, and as you said, a valiant effort. Meanwhile, the men's team arrived here yesterday and are ready to be back in the Elite Eight, playing at a very familiar place.
The defending champions are back in Evansville.
I mean, obviously we've played in here before, and our conference tournament's been here the last 2 years. You know, as I told someone else, we know the streets and how to get around Evansville because we come here every year for conference play.
But unlike the conference tournament, they had to earn their trip back to the Ford Center for their second straight Elite Eight appearance.
We came here last year, and everybody thought we weren't going to be back. So it was a lot of motivation for us to get back and work hard, but stay humble at the same time. But it's a great honor to be here, though.
Drury is 4-1 all-time at the Ford Center, but its one loss came just a few weeks ago.
I forgot about that. That was a good thing for us at that time. You know, we got to go back to Springfield, and our guys were a lot more attentive. Their ears were wide open.
Their 75-57 loss to Southern Indiana in the conference tournament got the Panthers back on track.
Yeah, that loss helped us a lot. I mean, I think we was kind of being fat cats and kind of getting used to winning, and sometimes you need a loss like that, and it was at the perfect time to where we didn't have to end our season right there. I mean, a lot of teams lost here and had to end their season, but we got to go back and keep practicing and kind of build and start listening and come close together as a team.
And Dan, it sounds like it's going to be a tough defensive test for Drury tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be because the West Liberty team, a high-flying, high-scoring team out of Wheeling, West Virginia. The Panthers taking on these Hilltoppers that are making their 4th straight trip to the Elite Eight. You can tell with just one look at practice that this West Liberty team likes to shoot the ball from all over the floor, from beyond the three-point line.
Everybody gets caught up in how well we shoot the basketball at times, and that's what we try to do is run and gun, but it's mainly our defense. That's how we get a lot of points on the board.
The Hilltoppers lead the nation, averaging 100 points per game. West Liberty has scored 100 or more 18 times this season, including 30 made three-pointers in a victory in late January.
I think we have a good shooting basketball team. I think that's one of our strengths. And the hard part then is when you face a team like Drury, who's a great defensive team, is getting clean looks.
First-team All-American Cedric Harris leads the Hilltoppers, averaging 18 points a game, and is one of 7 West Liberty players averaging double figures. Drury leads the nation in allowing the fewest points.
Yeah, something definitely has to give. I mean, we looked at Drury, and they honestly, they're the best team we've seen so far. Defensively, they're all mature. They all have high IQs for the game of basketball. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough challenge for us, but we're up for it.
It's not all scoring for West Liberty. The Hilltoppers also employ a stifling, intense, full-court press defense. The combination has resulted in 4 straight Elite 8 appearances for this West Virginia team, but it hasn't been easy.
We lost some really key players from last year. We lost 3 1,000-point scorers. One of them was a National Player of the Year, but replaced them within the house. We had guys that have stepped up and had a bigger role this year, and I know Drury's very similar to that too. So I think that'll be a great game.
And Dan, that game's set to tip off tomorrow at 6.
Yeah, and maybe something else that's going to drive the Drury Panthers. There were 3 All-American teams named today. Not one Drury Panther was named on any one of those teams, so maybe the guys feeling a little bit of a need to prove themselves
Chip
tomorrow.
on their shoulder,
exactly.
absolutely.
That's going to do it for Megan Rice. I'm Dan Lucy. David and Jennifer, back to you from a cold and blustery Evansville. We'll have more tomorrow live from out here at the Elite 8. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, guys. Stay warm.
Good job out there, guys. Final word here at 10 after this.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
it really is spring. It's going to start feeling a little bit more like that.
We're going to shake off the cold. We really are. And I think it starts tomorrow. We wake up to cold and frosty conditions, but by lunchtime, we're going to be closing in on 50s for highs tomorrow. That's not great, but it's a lot better than today. And then it looks like up near 70 possibly on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to have to contend with some thunderstorms, maybe a few which could be strong. Showers will continue into Friday, and then we get to the weekend, and the weekend is looking gorgeous. And we deserve it. You know, the last couple of weekends, we've had to deal with cold or we've had to deal with snow or sleet. This weekend, none of that. Mild temperatures.
Looking good, Jamie.
Love
Thanks.
it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.